Hey, good morning, everyone. So, I'm making this video to encourage someone to never, ever give up. Now, you've heard that before, of course, but I was thinking about how I've been in business for over 20 years, and I'm in the type of business where I deal with a lot of people. And what I notice is that a lot of people give up far too soon when they would have found great success. They would have experienced a greater amount of achievement and accomplishment if they had just hung in there. I think that a lot of people have a false expectation of what should happen in business, especially when they're not already business minded and then they get into business and they expect to get rich overnight. You've got to truly understand that there is a learning curve for you to go through. There are some skills you have to acquire that you may not have now. And there truly is a mindset shift and change that needs to happen to take you from you getting the results that you're getting now to getting new, bigger, better results. And all of that takes time. So many people would gain the achievement, would receive the accolades, would experience the success if they hadn't given up so soon. I want you to revisit Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich and read the story about being 3 feet from gold and how the gentleman was on a search to become rich through gold, and he kept digging and digging and digging. He just couldn't find the vein that he thought was there. So he stopped. He stopped his digging, and then he just sold his all of his equipment to some like junk prospector or whatever, just for real cheap. And then he went back home. He gave up on his dream, went back home. Well, not too long later, he found out that this guy that he had sold all of his equipment to, this junk guy that he sold all his equipment to, had become a multi-millionaire because he actually had found the vein of gold. The gentleman who sold all of his equipment had stopped just 3 feet from the vein. If he had just kept going, he would have struck the gold in the millions that he was in pursuit of. Have you ever done that? Like stop 3 feet from gold? Well, I'm glad that the gentleman learned his lesson. So the one who sold all of his equipment and went back home, he said, you know what? I may have stopped 3 feet from gold, but I'm never going to stop because men tell me no. You see, he got into the insurance business and he learned his lesson from what happened when he was trying to be a gold prospector. And the lesson he learned was, I may have stopped 3 feet from gold, but I will never stop because men tell me no. And so he went on to be a multimillionaire in the insurance business. So what lessons can we learn from this? As I talk to lots of people in one of my businesses, there are always people coming to me, and their financial situation is very below what they want it to be. And they do a lot of complaining and a lot of woe is meing. And then when you tell them the thing that they could really do to make the shift, I don't know if they believe it or not because most people really don't do it. The shift really has to come right here. It has to come from in your mind. So understand a couple of things. One is if you're in pursuit of something and it's eluding you, don't quit, because when you quit, you for sure, that's a sure way to fail. Think, what skills do I need to gain? What knowledge do I need? What new habits do I need? Who do I need to become in order to achieve this? See, you can't become what you want by remaining where you are. You've got to uncover the powerful being of perfection that is you, that's already there, but it's so covered up with doubts and worries and insecurities. You got to like uncover that so you can walk in your power. And so remember, if you give up, you were absolutely guaranteed to fail. And understand this, you've got to give yourself grace and be able to last through the learning curve. Understand there is a learning curve. Like if you knew everything you needed to know for what you wanted to achieve, like you'd be doing it right now. So understand there's some things that you don't know. There's some skills that you don't have, and you need to cultivate that. There's some habits that you haven't developed, and you need to develop those habits. If you're agreeing what I'm saying, if I'm telling the truth, click the love button. Show me some heart, show me some love, so you know what I'm talking about. So I know that you know what I'm talking about. So give yourself time to go through the learning curve, and don't be like most people who give up and throw in the towel far too soon. Hey, let's see what Meryl has to say. She said, change take time. Oh, I'm change takes time. I'm learning to change, to grow. In my meditation this morning, it takes time for change. Absolutely. We don't necessarily wave a magic wand and poof, you're changed. It does take time. People have to be willing to absolutely do the work. So many people want right now results, but they don't want to put in the right now work. So you got to understand, and you also have to be working on two planes. You got to be working in the spiritual plane and in the physical plane. But it starts in the spiritual. It starts with the work within, because the work within will help you to get better results without. So many people are trying to work first and only on the outside conditions, not realizing that that's backwards, because the outside conditions, your outside conditions, the circumstances, the things that you observe with your senses, those are coming from what's happening on the inside. So you need to be taught and mentored how to truly, in a powerful way, work from the inside out. Life would be so much easier. You would see so many things more so being laid at your feet almost. You would experience a greater joy of life if you learn how to work from the inside out. So remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. You just don't read one book and all of a sudden you know everything, because knowing and doing are miles apart. You've probably read a lot of books. You've got Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill's books, Your Think Your Way to Wealth. You probably got Bob Proctor's Born Rich. You probably have Robert Kiyosaki. You've got the books, right? But the knowing is one thing, but the doing is something else. And knowing and doing are miles apart. You've got to learn how to close that knowing and doing gap. So all of that you've read, all of that you've learned when you went to seminars, all of that head knowledge, you've got to learn how to turn that into action, to behavior that will create the results in your life that you want to see. And that's more than a notion. Most times you need a mentor, a coach, someone to hold you accountable to doing those things that will get you the better results, to changing yourself on a subconscious level to help those results become more automatic. If you knew how to do it, you'd already be doing it. You've got to get with someone who knows how to do it and can show you the way. All right. Well, that's what I have for you all this morning. Remember, you are more powerful than you know. And I love you guys, because I just love people and there's nothing you can do about it. Enjoy this life experience and enjoy today.
This is Bunmi signing off. Bye bye.